My name is Shabnam Akrami from Niren Associates, your immigration lawyers. This video will be discussing study permits. A lot of clients come to us and ask us, how am I eligible for a study permit? So we'll be discussing how one can become eligible for a particular study permit. There's a few key things that you have to remember when you apply for a study permit. The first is you have to apply from a school, college, or university that's recognized in Canada. The second thing we have to keep in mind is that you have to pay the upfront tuition fee. Many schools do not require you to pay the full tuition in order to be enrolled in their program. Many say that you have to pay a portion of it. So you must pay a portion of the tuition and include that in your application. In the submissions, indicate when you will be making the other tuition payments. Another requirement is to demonstrate that you are able to support your stay in Canada, hence the living expenses. We can demonstrate this by including 3 months bank statement. Also, you can demonstrate this by family members putting reference letters saying that they will provide accommodations, for example. Another requirement is that we have to demonstrate that your intent in Canada is temporary and that you will exit out the country at the end of your stay in Canada. Now, many of our clients come to us with related questions. I will read out 3 of them and then provide answers that may provide some assistance for you. The first is, I'm already in Canada and have a valid study permit. I would like to change my school or program of studies. What do I need to modify my study permit? If you're in a similar situation as this client, please note that you do not require to change your study permit so long as it is in the same school. So for example, if you're in a college or university and you remain in a college-university program, you can remain in the same study permit. It does not necessarily have to be the same institution, so long as it's in the same school, whether it being a college, university, secondary, post-secondary, and so forth. Another question that we predominantly get at the firm is, am I allowed to return home for a visit or travel outside of Canada during my study? And the answer for this is yes, you may. The only thing you have to keep in mind is a study permit is a status document. You have to ensure that your study permit is valid. And the second thing you have to keep in mind is that if you are from a visa-exempt country, for example, United States, many European countries and so forth, you don't require a temporary resident visa. However, if you come from a non-visa exempt country, such as Pakistan and India, you will require a temporary resident visa, a valid one, to be able to enter Canada again. So prior to exiting, ensure that you have 2 main documents. 1, your valid study permit. 2, a temporary resident visa to be able to enter Canada if you come from a non-visa exempt country. Another question that we get is, how can I work in Canada while being on a study permit? There are many ways of doing this, but predominantly our clients fall into 3 main categories. The first is working on a on-campus work permit. The second is working off-campus. And the last one is working after graduation, called a post-grad work permit. Working on campus does not require a work permit. So long as the work is on campus, you may work on campus. You do have to be part-time and your study has to remain full-time. Part-time is considered 20 hours maximum per week. Working off campus means working away from the institution that your study permit is valid for. For this, you do require an actual work permit called the off-campus work permit. Again, the idea is that you have to demonstrate that you're a full-time student at the institution and that you will not be working more than 20 hours maximum per week. Working after graduation is called a postgraduate work permit. The postgraduate work permit will be valid for either the length of your study permit up to a maximum of 3 years. One thing you have to remember is that the length of your study has to be a minimum of 8 months. If you or your family members require any services related to study permits, please do contact us. Thank you so much. Until next time.